My heart is heavy as I sit in my apartment, waiting for Lucian. I've been leaning against the back of the sofa, staring at the door for the past 20 minutes. Not so much staring at it as looking through it, not seeing it. My mind somewhere else. Mistake, it keeps saying. I should not have given him this chance. Nothing good will come from it. I wish that Janice was home so that I could talk to her, but I already know what she would say. She'd try to convince me not to go out with him. She'd tell me everything that I'm already thinking. Lucian Reddick is bad for me. He's like a disease to my heart, slowly chipping away at my soul until he destroys me completely. I shouldn't have felt sorry for him. I shouldn't have felt the slightest twinge of sympathy for his situation. People have bad things happen to them all the time. Horrible things. Every day, someone in the world loses someone important to them. People die. They get murdered. They have accidents. Those who are left behind choose how to deal with that loss. Most cope well enough. Then there are those like Lucian, those who lose themselves because something inside of them is already broken, the part that understands how to properly cope with loss. I sigh. Perhaps I'm judging him too harshly. Maybe I'm just being bitter because his coping mechanism has hurt me over and over again. I've been a victim of being a victim of circumstance. It's not fair, but life often isn't. And now I'm standing here preparing to subject myself to more of the same treatment. Actions speak louder than words, and I honestly don't have much faith that he can change. This was never what I wanted. A man like him? But I was never what he wanted either, from the way he spoke about us at Flesh. Oil and water, water and oil. You can stir them together until your hand cramps, but the two will never mix. Maybe I should call and cancel our date. Would he answer his phone then? Just as I think of it, there's a knock on the door. My heart leaps into my throat and I push myself off of the sofa, quickly smoothing my skirt before taking long strides towards the door. I didn't even bother changing out of what I was wearing earlier today. I don't care if he plans to take me to the nicest restaurant in town. I want him to see that my interest in him is practically dead. The part of me that cared about him is drying up faster than a puddle on a hot day. I grip my teeth, unpleasant tightness assaulting my chest as I open the door. A bouquet of daisies is thrust into my face, and I scoff before my eyes land on the face delivering them. The tightness in my chest triples, and tremors of panic assault me. Derek. He's wearing an Armani suit and a smile.
Hey, sugar tits.
He pushes the flowers into my arms and then welcomes himself into my apartment. I stand there with my mouth agape, trying to process what's going on. Lucian will be here any time now. This is not good. Derek? I stumble over his name, quickly shutting the door behind him and pressing my back against it. What a surprise!
A good one, I hope.
He glances over his shoulder at me before going to the kitchen to rummage under the sink for a vase. He knows my apartment so well that I'd be amused if I weren't absolutely horrified that he and Lucian will probably be crossing paths again very shortly at the worst of times. Your timing sucks so bad. I exhale deeply, trying to push some of the stress out with my breath, though it doesn't work.
I just wanted to apologize for the way I've been acting lately. It was totally unnecessary. Consider this a peace offering.
He gestures for me to bring the flowers over. It takes everything in me to push myself away from the door. For some reason, I feel like as soon as I walk away from it, Lucian will knock, and then this pleasant exchange will turn into a nightmare all over again. You shouldn't have. I hand him the flowers, and boy, do I mean it. While I'm happy to see him, I'd be leagues happier if it were any other time but now.
I didn't feel like an apology was good enough.
He pulls a pair of scissors out of one of the drawers and starts clipping the stems of the flowers before pulling the rubber band off of the bouquet and sticking them in the vase to begin arranging them. I'm sorry, too. I lean against the counter, suddenly feeling guilty for wanting to shoo him away. Seeing him like this, the old Derek that I've always had friendly affection for, I realize just how much I've missed him. Now I really wish I could cancel on Lucian. Maybe it's not too late. Can you give me a minute? I make a 1 with my finger, then turn from him to pull my phone out of my purse. My hand is shaking as I quickly type out a text message to Lucian. I'm sorry, Lucian. I've changed my mind. I really don't think that the two of us are a good idea. It was... Knock, knock. My shoulders practically cramp with tension when I hear the metal knocker clanging against the door.